Okay, so you're out there, you're trying different things in your business, right? Maybe tweaking your ads, posting more, trying new sales stuff. But if you're, not seeing the growth you expect, you're probably wondering, what is the real sticking point here?
Exactly. And look, we're not talking about fleeting trends today. Forget the quick fixes for a minute. We're going deep, really deep, into the fundamental actions that actually drive sustainable growth for any business.
Yeah, because in our last deep dive, we talked about some common traps, things that can really sabotage your progress. So now you know what not to do. The big question is, well, where should you be focusing your energy? What really matters?
And that's our mission for this deep dive. It's simple, but honestly vital. We want to clarify what really deserves your main focus as a business owner, and crucially, how that focus directly hits your bottom line.
Right, so you get clarity, you know where to put your effort effectively.
And also understand what maybe you can just put on the back burner for now.
Okay, let's dig in. So you're trying to get more customers. Standard goal, right? Well, at its absolute core, every single business runs on, two key engines: acquisition and delivery.
Think of it like building a machine. First, you need the parts to come in. That's your acquisition, getting the stuff you need.
And then, once you have those parts, you've got to assemble them right, make sure the final thing works as promised. That's delivery.
Exactly. Acquisition is pretty straightforward conceptually. It's how you bring clients in, how you make sales. And that breaks down a bit further, doesn't it?
Yeah, you've got lead generation, getting people interested in the first place, then lead nurture, building that trust, showing your value.
And finally, sales, closing the deal.
Right. And the other side of the coin is delivery.
This is everything after they say yes. It's about fulfilling that promise you made.
And this also breaks down, you've got your messaging,
which is how you talk about what you do, who it's for, super important.
Then you're offered the specific thing, the solution, the transformation you're actually selling.
And lastly, fulfillment. The actual nuts and bolts of delivering that offer, how you make it happen.
Okay, now here's where it gets maybe a little counterintuitive for some people. There's often this huge push, especially, early on.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes even later.
To focus almost completely on acquisition. It's all about more leads, more calls, more sales, just more.
And look, bringing in new business is obviously essential. You need customers. But what we're arguing here is that particularly when you're building that solid foundation, your main focus, your primary energy really needs to shift towards perfecting your delivery.
Exactly. It sounds backward almost.
Yeah.
But how can you effectively attract the right people if you haven't truly nailed down what you're offering them and how you talk about its value in a way that actually connects?
Your delivery is the bedrock. It really is. Everything else gets built on top of that.
Think about it. How do you write an ad that actually makes someone stop scrolling?
Or how do your social media posts pull in the right crowd if your core message is kind of fuzzy or generic?
If it doesn't speak directly to their pain points or what they really want.
Yeah, good messaging acts like a magnet for your ideal client. That's key.
And the offer itself? Well, that's the engine driving your sales, isn't it?
Totally. If what you're selling doesn't solve a real significant problem for a specific group or deliver an outcome they genuinely desire,
then it doesn't matter how slick your sales pitch is. The market just won't bite.
A truly strong offer, one that hits the nail on the head, feels almost irresistible to the right person.
So let's connect the dots. If your messaging is unclear or it just doesn't resonate.
Your marketing efforts, doesn't matter how much money you throw at them, they're likely going to underperform.
And if your offer isn't compelling, isn't hitting that need,
your sales conversions will suffer. It's a direct link, cause and effect.
Okay, so this kind of leads us to think about it like a hierarchy. Like building a house, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. At the very bottom, the foundation holding everything up, that's your delivery. Specifically, getting your messaging and your offer right. That's slab.
Okay, foundation first. Then, building on top of that strong foundation, you have your core processes.
Right. This includes acquisition stuff like lead generation and lead nurture, both of which rely heavily on how clear and impactful your messaging is.
In sales, which is directly powered by how strong your offer is.
And of course, fulfillment is in there too, actually delivering on the promise you made in the offer.
And then, only then, right at the top, you get to the tactical execution elements, the tools.
Exactly. This is all the stuff people often jump to first. Your ads, your funnels, your content strategy.
Your website, your branding, the emails you send out.
All of those are just expressions of your core message, ways to get it out there.
And things like your pricing, your sales process, how your service is structured,
Those are all components of your offer and how you fulfill it.
even downstream stuff, like getting referrals or repeat customers.
That's usually an outcome of really good fulfillment, delivering great value.
So you can see how those core processes, getting leads, making sales, they just can't work properly.
If the foundation, the messaging and offer, is weak or fuzzy.
It's like trying to run a high-performance car on really cheap, watery gas. It just sputters.
Exactly. Think about it practically. An ad is a message. A social media post is a message. If that core message isn't precise, isn't compelling, isn't aimed right,
Then those tactics are basically wasted effort, aren't they?
pretty much like shouting into the wind if the foundation isn't solid.
But let's flip that. When you really nail the messaging and the offer, when they deeply connect with the people you want to serve.
Then your lead generation, your nurturing, your sales processes, they suddenly have this powerful engine behind them. Things start to flow.
Okay, but this brings up a really, really critical point. Who actually decides if your message and offer are any good?
Because you might feel really strongly about them. You might love them, but
Yeah, you could spend weeks, months crafting this perfect message, thinking my offer is amazing, it's a no-brainer. But in the end,
the market decides, period. It's not your opinion that ultimately counts. It's the response or lack of response from the people you're trying to reach.
that's a tough pill to swallow sometimes, isn't it? Requires a real shift in perspective for a lot of business owners.
No, definitely. We hear it constantly. My messaging is great. My offer is fantastic. I just don't get why I'm not getting clients.
And the hard truth often is, if the market isn't responding positively, then something isn't truly connecting. It's not done yet.
The market's reaction is the ultimate feedback loop. It's the only real validation.
Exactly. Market demand. That's the only truly reliable sign of a good message and a good offer.
If people aren't raising their hands, aren't asking questions, aren't buying, then there's a disconnect. Simple as that.
Regardless of how much you believe in it.
You can't force people to want something. You have to tap into what they already want or need.
And sometimes there's this, huge gap between what we think our customers want.
And what they actually want. Or how they think about it.
We might be trying to solve a problem they don't see as urgent. Or maybe we're talking about the benefits in a way that just doesn't land for them.
So the answer isn't just trying more tactics, throwing spaghetti at the wall. It's about stepping back, revisiting those foundations message, offer, and starting to experiment.
Iterate, right?
Yeah.
Refine it. Test things until you find that combination that just clicks with your audience.
And when it clicks, oh, you'll know. The difference is usually pretty stark.
We've seen it happen. Someone tweaks their messaging, makes one post, and suddenly gets 3 client inquiries after months of crickets.
That's the power of hitting that nerve, of a message that truly resonates.
So if you're constantly second-guessing your message or offer, it probably means it still needs work. It hasn't clicked yet.
Absolutely. So the path forward is clear, really. You need to keep refining, keep testing that messaging and offer until you consistently see that positive market response. People engaging, people buying.
And only then does it make sense to really pour resources into optimizing your lead gen, your nurture, your sales process.
And those tactical things, the ads, the funnels, they come even later, once the core is proven and working.
Okay, let's make this concrete. Give us an example of iterating the message and offer.
Sure. Let's say you're a fitness coach. Your core skill, helping people get in shape. Simple enough. But within that, there's a ton of room to play with your messaging and the specific offer you create.
Right. You could start by asking, who are you really trying to reach?
Exactly. Is it busy professionals struggling for time, new parents dealing with post-baby bodies, maybe competitive athletes needing an edge? The who matters hugely.
Then what outcome are they really after? Is it just weight loss, or maybe more energy, better sleep, peak performance?
And then dig deeper. What's the why behind that outcome?
Mm-hmm.
More confidence, keeping up with their kids, getting that promotion, feeling attractive again.
And finally, how do you deliver it? One-on-one, group classes, an online course, done-for-you meal plans, a boot camp.
See, you can mix and match these endlessly.
So you could test, say, messaging for busy professionals wanting more energy for work, offering a quick, high-intensity online program they can do anytime.
Or you could try focusing on new moms wanting to lose baby weight and regain confidence, offering maybe in-person group sessions, maybe even with childcare provided.
Totally different angle, different offer, different message, still fitness coaching.
Precisely. And the crucial thing to remember is if you change your core message or your offer significantly.
It ripples outwards, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Everything built on that foundation,
Yeah.
your website copy, your social posts, maybe even your branding colors or logo might need to change too to stay aligned.
Which is exactly why you need to get that foundation solid first,
Yeah.
before you spend ages building the rest of the house.
You got it. Otherwise, you're constantly rebuilding.
Okay, let's talk about the common trap then.
Yeah.
Getting this sequence wrong.
Yes. The classic mistake. Pouring time, energy, money into the tactical stuff. The fancy funnels, the nonstop content creation, running ads, messing with pricing, redesigning the website.
All before they really know if their core message and offer actually resonate with anyone.
It's chasing the shiny object, isn't it?
Totally. Maybe if it just had a better landing page. So they build one. Still no results.
Okay, I need to be on TikTok. Jump in, start making videos. Still quiet.
Let's try retargeting ads. More effort, same trickle of interest, if any.
Is my price too high? Or maybe it's too low. Fiddling with numbers without understanding the core value proposition's appeal.
They might build complex email sequences, overhaul the website design again, try to build a huge social following, even do a full rebrand.
And when none of that works, what do they often conclude?
I just need more tactics, a more complex funnel, even more content.
It becomes this really frustrating, expensive cycle of doing more of what's not working.
And honestly, this is where so many potentially great businesses just burn out. People give up.
And the tragedy is, the root cause wasn't necessarily the idea or their skill. It was that they never validated and refined that fundamental message and offer, never found what truly clicked with the market.
So let's restate the correct approach, the path that actually works.
Message and offer first. Always. Then iterate relentlessly. Test them. Talk to people. Get feedback. Until you see clear signs they're connecting. Until people are interested.
Once you have that market-validated foundation, then you strategically focus on optimizing your core processes.
Your lead generation, your nurturing, your sales conversion, your fulfillment systems. Make them efficient.
And only after those are working smoothly should you really start fine-tuning the tactical elements. Optimizing ads, tweaking funnels.
Places it just makes logical sense, right?
Yeah, how can a beautiful funnel convert leads if the message that got them into the funnel wasn't compelling to begin with?
Or how can a stunning website sell anything if the underlying offer doesn't actually solve a problem people care about?
The tactics amplify the foundation. They can't replace it.
Exactly. And it's so easy to look at successful businesses, see their polished ads or complex systems and think, that's the secret.
Mimic the tactic.
Right. But you're missing the crucial part. Those tactics only work because they're built on a message and offer that already resonates deeply with their market.
Trying to copy the tactics without that foundation, well, it's usually a recipe for frustration and wasted money.
Okay, let's really drive this home. Let's look at the dramatic impact this can have using some simple hypothetical numbers.
Yeah, let's see how a strong message and offer can totally transform your acquisition results. Imagine you spend, say, $1,000 consistently on advertising.
Okay. We've got 4 scenarios lined up, based purely on how good your messaging and offer are. We'll look at things like cost per lead, how many leads book a call, your sales closing rate, and even the price you can charge.
Right. Scenario 1, average. Messaging's okay, offer's decent, but nothing special. Maybe it costs you $20 to get a lead. 10% of those leads book a call. You close 20% of those calls, and your offer is worth $1,000.
So with your $1,000 ad spend, you get 50 leads. That leads to 5 calls, and you make 1 sale, $1,000 revenue.
You spend $1,000, you made $1,000. Broke even. Zero profit. A lot of businesses live here.
Sadly, yes. Now, scenario 2, better messaging. You've really worked on how you communicate value. Offer's the same, though. Now, your message resonates better, so your cost per lead drops to $10. More qualified people. Your lead-to-call rate doubles to 20%. Closing rate is still 20%, same $1,000 offer.
Okay, same $1,000 ad spend. Now it gets you 100 leads. That's 20 calls. You close. 4 sales. 4 sales at $1,000 each is $4,000 revenue. You spend $1,000. That's $3,000 profit. A 3x return just from improving the message.
Big difference already. But now, scenario 3, improved offer. Messaging is still strong, $10 lead, 20% call rate. But now your offer is much more compelling. It solves a bigger problem, delivers more value. So your call conversion rate jumps to 40%, and because the offer is better, you can now charge $3,000.
Wow, okay. Same $1,000 ad spend, still 100 leads, still 20 calls. But now you close 40%. That's 8 sales. 8 sales times $3,000. $24,000 in revenue. Profit of $23,000. That's a 23x return. Huge leap.
Massive. And finally, scenario 4. Good optimized. Everything's working together. Highly effective messaging, perfectly aligned offer. Your cost per lead is down to just $5. Ideal clients are drawn in. Your lead-to-call rate is up to 30%. Your call conversion rate is a solid 50%. And you can confidently charge $5,000 for this premium offer.
Okay, to brace yourself. Same $1,000 ad spend generates 200 leads. That leads to 60 calls. You close half of those. 30 sales. 30 sales times $5,000. That's $150,000 in revenue. Profit. $149,000. A 149x return.
From the exact same $1,000 ad spend as the first scenario that made zero profit.
That's staggering. The difference isn't the ad platform. It's not the budget.
It's the message. It's the offer. It's how well they connect with the market. That's the leverage point.
This really drives it home. When your marketing isn't working, your ads flop, your funnels leak, sales are slow.
It's almost never a fundamental flaw in the tactic or the system itself, 9 times out of 10.
It's the underlying foundation. Your messaging and offer just aren't hitting the mark with your audience.
You have to fix that first.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. Bringing it all together. Sustainable success really boils down to getting these fundamentals right. Remember the 2 realms: acquisition, getting customers, and delivery, what you do for them.
And while you obviously need both, the strength, the clarity, the resonance of your delivery, your messaging, your offer, that's what dictates how well your acquisition actually works.
And critically, you don't get the final say on whether it's good.
The market does. Their response is your validation, or your signal to iterate again.
Simple equation. Better delivery leads to better, easier, more profitable acquisition.
So your first job, your main priority, should be proving out that message and offer, testing it, validating it with real people, before you go big on scaling tactics.
And if the tactics you're using aren't working, don't just blame the tactic.
Look deeper. The most likely culprit is a weakness or a mismatch in your core message or offer. Fix the foundation first.
So let's leave you with a final thought to chew on. Consider the feedback you're getting right now from the market, or maybe the lack of feedback.
The leads you're getting or not getting. The conversations you're having or not having. The sales you're making or not making.
What might the market be trying to tell you right now about your fundamental message and the real value of what you're offering?